Good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat podcast. We're happy to welcome all those who are listening on radio via WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio. We've got 100.5 FM out of Labby in Grenville. We have Rampoon Radio out of Delaware in the United States and other stations carrying the heartbeat. I want to also welcome those who are listening on the NDC Facebook platform and those who are on YouTube. Welcome to another NDC Heartbeat episode for the first Sunday in January 2026. Today is the 4th of January, and want to wish you all a Happy New Year. All those who are in the mainland Grenada, those who are in Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and all of you in the diaspora. Happy New Year to each and every one of you, your family and friends and associates. I hope you had an enjoyable Christmas season, and we are now into the new year, and obviously we are going to have new plans, new agendas, new things to accomplish. So what we're going to be doing today is to share with you highlights or excerpts of 2025. I'm sure most of you may remember some of them. Some of you may even forget some of those clips. But they were kindly put together by our expert IT professional, my good friend, Blundell. So I want to say a great thank you to Blundell and the crew for sticking with the heartbeat throughout the years and, of course, throughout 2025. Sometimes it looks simple, but the things that happens in the background can be a little bit daunting at times. So a big thank you to that crew. So we're going to start off with our first clip, and hope you enjoy the rest of the program. I wouldn't come in and comment on those clips. You would already be getting my commentary in the interviews. So we'll just run clip after clip after clip after clip, and I trust that you would have a great Sunday afternoon. So thank you for being part of the Heartbeat once again, and have a great show. And let me say goodbye at this point. You will hear me at the end of the program. And see you again next week when we have other interesting clips and programs to share with you. Happy 2026, and see you then. Goodbye. Tell us about the major successes your ministry has had, recognition that I've noticed from really top quality magazines and organizations with respect to choosing Grenada as the main destination if you visit in the Caribbean. What has been responsible for this?
Well, to get into Terry, the Grenadines Beach is one of the top sites in the Caribbean. The hospitality of our people is another area that we are emulated on. Our culture, our food, we are emulated on that also. We are highly regarded within the Caribbean. And Terry, one of the most important one is the security in Grenada. The crime rate in Grenada. Grenada is still considered maybe the top peaceful nation in the world, one of the top peaceful nations in the world. And people feel comfortable, they feel confident coming to Grenada. And those are the things that we have to continue to preserve and protect. And hence the reason why we passed this very stiff law in regards to gun violence. We do not want this thing to be a common feature in our culture. We want to eradicate it as early as possible and get rid of it. So those are the areas that have been going for us. And obviously we have beautiful beaches, warm. Our climate is always warm. Sun, sea, and sun is not all, but it's something that we have maintained over the years, and we continue to sit at the top.
I really want to express, first of all, our profound appreciation for you taking the time to be part of the launch of this, our fireside chat, particularly as Grenada, a young nation, marks its 51st anniversary of independence. We are truly delighted to have you here. We have in the room with us policymakers, the cabinet of Grenada, members of the diplomatic corps, senior government officials, businessmen and women, entrepreneurs, and my favorite group of people, school children. And so we are delighted that you've agreed to join us on this fireside chat. I have never done a fireside chat before, where I'm attempting to ask questions, so I hope I manage. And after our interaction, we will allow the audience to ask some questions of you. I want to start by indicating the moderator has given us an extensive summary of your success as an entrepreneur, industrialist, businessman. My question to you is, when you look back, did you ever envisage that you would become this successful?
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister. It's great being here. It's a long journey, almost 9.5 hours from Nigeria. But it's great to be here and meeting great people. Your question is, have I ever envisaged to be where I am now? Even last week, I think a media guy asked me this question that, okay, fine, did you ever dream of being where you are at the moment? And I said that no, I've never really dreamt of being 1% of where I am today. So, I mean, really, we've had great challenges and but we've also, we've done very well.
Okay. So, as you look back, where did it all begin?
As I look back, well, it all began at 1978 when I first left school, and I decided that okay, fine, maybe I should do something. I started serving with my late grandfather, and then later on I decided to move to Lagos that same year. When I moved to Lagos, I started trading just in cement. I said I don't want to work for anybody. So by trading, it was during the scarcity of cement, and then there was so much projects, because the government, found quite a lot of money, oil money, doing reconstruction, and also rolled out a lot of projects. But we were importing all the cement, and I wasn't importing. I was just buying from an uncle of mine, trading. Then my grandfather said, okay, fine, well, let me help you. I give you 500,000, to add to your capital. 500,000 then was about 500,000 pounds, because the Naira pounds was about the same rate at that time. Then after about 3 months, I realized that, well, I didn't really need that much money, so I returned his money back to, to him. To tell you the worth of Naira at that time, my first Mercedes that I bought, 200, was 5,100 Naira that I bought.
It is indeed an honor to celebrate yet again the anniversary of our nation's birth. We do so after having commemorated our 50th anniversary of independence in grand and spectacular style 1 year ago. And as that amazing memory lingered with us, on the 1st of July 2024, we were hit with a devastating hurricane. But through the resilience of our citizens, through the empathy, the spirit of kindness and volunteerism, and with the remarkable support and partnership of our brothers and sisters, starting first within the OECS and CARICOM, and further appeal from as far as Africa, the Middle East, North, Central, and South America, Europe, and Canada, we have been able to rebound and recover stronger, more united, and more resilient and prepared to face the next 50 years of challenge. The last 50 years have demonstrated that Grenada, despite its size, is a great nation that has the capacity to punch above its weight. And so, I will not speak much longer, but I will leave you with this phrase, and then you will have a show that will speak for itself. Grenada is a great nation. Grenada is a great nation. And there is greatness in each and every one of us. And there is greatness in each and every one of us. Happy 51st anniversary of independence. Long live the great nation of Grenada. Long live the great nation. Long live the great nation of Grenada. Long live the people of Grenada. Thank you very much.
My Prime Minister, your Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell.
I don't get involved in the internal political affairs of Grenada, but I want to say that that Prime Minister Mitchell has the qualities that are required to lead a nation and to make a contribution in the Caribbean and international arena at this time.
Well, at least most Grenadians feel very passionate about their leader and the fact that he is almost God sent, basically, to unite the nation and to unite the people, which is so very important in national development.
That's right.
But it is said that you are the longest serving Prime Minister in Dominica. What's your secret for this?
Well, people vote, so I always tell people I only have one vote, and so it is left to the citizens and voters of Dominica to determine who they want to lead them at any given time. Anybody who comes, certainly it is clear to everyone that Prime Minister Mitchell came in to serve.
Absolutely.
He was very successful at the age.
Yep.
There was no need for him to take on that burden.
Quite true.
He's almost like the Moses of Grenada.
Yes, indeed.
And stepping forward and mobilizing and galvanizing the Grenadian people.
Yeah.
In a very extraordinary movement.
Very much so indeed.
Extraordinary movement, and I think I'm hoping that the historians have started to pen the notes.
Yep.
To record that political mobilization, which is really, in a sense, unparalleled in our recent history.
Yep, very much so indeed. He is indeed quite an example to the rest of the region and the world, and he is getting real significant recognition for his humility.
Good afternoon, Brother Terry. How are you doing today? Thank you very much for the privilege to be able to share with our folks our transportation arrangements for our bumper rally this evening at Bushiju. Bro, as you know, it's exciting time. We are looking forward to a very, very lovely rally. We're expecting our usual large turnout of supporters. As we plan for this big rally today, Brother Terry, I want your listening and viewing audience to know that we'll be rocking Bushiju. Our strength, our numbers will be displayed. And I would use this opportunity just to encourage everyone to come out to this rally. It's going to be great. It's going to be epic.
You see me? According to them Jamaicans, me not fear no man. So as long as I am the political leader of the National Democratic Congress, they could say what they want, where they want, when they want, but tell them buck upon me, confront me, say it to my face, and then we go deal with them. So don't watch the noise. Most of them social media bad John, if you meet them, butter can't melt in their mouth. They can't even watch you in your face. They don't understand the struggle of the average person, of the average mother, who has to take care of the children, who wants to educate their children, who wants better for their children than they had. So when we champion education, we are championing education because we know that education is the root out of poverty. Even if we have oil, gold or bauxite, if you do not have an educated population, you still wouldn't know what to do with the gold, oil, or the bauxite. So when we have the free tuition policy, and when we provide the uniform assistance, and we remove the school feeding, and we say every household in Grenada must have a university graduate, we are talking about the improvement, the empowerment, and the growth of our people. Who parent doesn't want better for their child? Who parent doesn't want better for their child? So the National Democratic Congress understands that. So when we talk about the skill training centers, when we talk about TVET, when we talk about reforming education, we are talking about Grenada for the next 15, 20, 30 years. I know about you all, but I ain't have a second passport. I ain't have no way to go. And for some of us who've left the diaspora, Canada, London, New York, come home. Come home. He who is weary. And the National Democratic Congress is waiting to welcome you back. So we have to understand, we are nowhere going. So if I'm the Prime Minister at 80 years, I want to make sure that Grenada doesn't have crime and violence. And we're not going to do that if we don't educate our young people. If we don't give them the opportunities, the support, if we don't harness their creative ability, if we don't establish the Office of the Creative Affairs, if we don't support our sportsmen and women and our artists. All you telling me to tell Black Adam congratulations? So he had a fella who was a popular fella. And then he left the NDC and then he went over by the other side. And then now he knows no man's land now. And I'm sure back then a lot of all you was disappointed and cried and say all kind of thing. But all you didn't know it was a
Lord. See my ex with a new man. We inside the session. Party kicking up. She put up, she 2-1. Wine them back on the man. You think I gave a damn? DJ, you're mad. DJ, you leave me. DJ, you leave. I started to see my way. When you hurt me, I went away.
For the people from the tongue of St. George.
And leave us a blessing. A blessing. I'm feeling so blessed.
You know when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're playing all kind of games and thinking the person don't know, and then bam, the person just suddenly cut you off, and you know it was just like it was a big shock to you. You know, that's what happened to the past administration. They've been playing so many games with the country. You know, we Grenadian people of Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and the election was a sudden cut off for them. So, you know, still they can't get over it. So they still, you know, they trying all kind of thing to get back. Not the NDC, they want to get back, to the Grenadian people because they don't want to see the Grenadian people happy. Because they realize now, so much things happening in Grenada now that the country moving forward at a very fast pace. And they had the country on a go slow. So, it's like a bad, like a relationship gone bad. What they wasn't expecting, they thought they could play all these kind of games now. And we, the Grenadian people, would not have paid attention to what was going on. Look at what they come down on the nurses, the doctors, the teachers. They thought they could have just do all these things, and yes, the Grenadian people, they're dumb, they're not paying attention to what's going on. But the results of the election now prove them wrong. That the Grenadian people was indeed paying attention to them. And look how well things are going now. Look how the members of government now, in every constituency, they're working. I mean, I mostly just be in the south, I don't go out of the south much because there's so much going on down here. So why live down here and go somewhere else when there's a lot to be done? So I'm down here in the south, walking along to make the south a better place, walking along with the minister. And it just happens now that I was able to go around and visit, some of the primary schools. And when I watch the condition of the schools, it's very sad, I mean, what the past administration, what they was really doing, these schools need a lot of touching up, they need a lot of things to be fixed, I mean, what they was doing. I mean, when they go around in a lot of the communities, there's a lot of things that needs to be done. And but I can speak for the South. The minister in the South is working very hard, and he's working very hard at a fast pace. The present government is working, and they're working very hard. I mean, they can't achieve everything that they want to in one term, because there's so much that needs to be done in our country, because our country was just on a go slow for so long, and now it's moving at a fast pace. But it's you, the Grenadian people, is to decide if you want this progress to continue, or if you want to go back on a go slow where nothing wasn't happening. So don't get fooled by these people when they see it on social media throwing us in that trash talk, because that's all they're good at. And trash talking doing nothing for us. Now look how much small businesses open up. There's so much contractors. Way ever in Grenada history, you heard the government coming out and pleading for contractors to come out because they want to serve the people, they want to do more for the people. You never see that. But no, this is things that's been going on, and this is things that is upsetting the past administration. So let us continue to support the government, stand with the government, the present government, so that our country will continue moving forward.
Tell us something about Seville Francis. What brought you to this point? What encouraged you into politics? And now that you're here, what brought you here?
If I can jog my memory to when I was sworn in, and I had the opportunity to say something after the official ceremony was finished. And I recall my statement was, service to God and service to man is of utmost importance. And that is something that I live by. Prior to my political journey, which is very new in that sense, I've always been a humanitarian. I recall, in fact, when I was in secondary school and I was asked what it is that you want to be in life, and I said a philanthropist, and they laughed at me. Some of the students did not even know what the word mean. And sometimes we think of philanthropists as, wealthy people giving back. But for me, it's about giving. I learned to give because I know what it's like to not have. And so any way that I can help, even if it's just one person, I feel like I have lived and I have fulfilled the life that God has given to me. In fact, He has given me many chances. And so I take this not for granted, but I ensured and I made a promise to Him that I will serve in every way that He placed me. I believe that this is divine intervention. It's His timing. If you ask me if I saw myself being here right now, I would definitely tell you no. In fact, at the initial conversation, the question I asked was, me? Why me? It was very difficult for me to wrap my mind around. But then I recalled the community where I'm from, you don't see a lot of persons like myself, young people like myself, stepping forward and serving in these capacities. And so I wanted to show the young people of Mount Church that there is good that can come from our community. I wanted to be a role model to them, and a lot of the changes that I've been trying to effect all throughout my life by doing a lot of community work and charitable work. Sometimes the changes you need to see, you have to be at the table. You have to have a seat at the table so that your voice can be heard, and not just heard but amplified, because you can stay in the background and try your very best to want to make those changes, but if you don't have a seat at the correct table at the right moment, then nothing can be done. And so for me, it was one of the main reasons why I accepted to serve at this level.
The Labour Commissioner and her staff are allowed to do their jobs without political interference or fear of retribution. In 2024, the Department of Labour resolved 197. Mr. Mitchell, I want you to sit up and listen to what I'm about to say. The Department of Labour resolved 197 of the 217 disputes lodged with the department. 25 of those refer to trade disputes, trade unions, or companies with trade unions. The rest are individuals. We conducted 163 labor inspections. But before I tell you about the labor inspections, I want to address specifically a matter that Mr. Mitchell raised, that he says is languishing at the Ministry of Labor. The truth, brothers and sisters, is that the matter was fixed by the Labour Commissioner for treatment, for conciliation, and it was the lawyers of the Bank and General Workers Union who wrote to ask for the matter to be postponed because aspects of the dispute are in the courts. So please, come with truth. We don't mind licks, but we want fair licks. We want deserving licks. Don't come and try to make us look bad when the truth actually makes us look good. I take this opportunity to reaffirm this government's unwavering commitments to the workers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Through our actions, we continue to demonstrate this. Significant progress has been made by us enacting legislation and strengthening policy and administrative and procedural frameworks to better your lives as workers. I thank you. I thank you for working with us in a constructive, productive, and non-confrontational manner over the last 2.5 years. And as we bring these benefits to all of our workers, we ask for, as President of the Public Workers Union said, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. That's all we ask for. My comrades from the labor movement, let us continue to work together to build and advance the lives of our workers. To the workers of this nation, this government will continue to take actions to secure your rights in a just and fair manner, in ways that no other administration has done in the past. Let us march forward together in solidarity to build a prosperous Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Long live the workers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Hi, I'm Andrea St. Bernard, project sponsor for the Project Polaris team. I'm really excited to have reached this point today. We've been working really hard to deliver on a new smart general hospital for Grenada. We've been working for quite some time, but today marks such a significant milestone in that journey. We've partnered with Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai is number 5 in the world in hospital systems delivery. And we now have the opportunity to benefit from all of the experience, expertise, resources that Mount Sinai has to offer as we plan and develop our healthcare system, and in particular our new hospital. I'm really in particular quite excited about the opportunity for mentorship, for real partnership and collaboration as Mount Sinai works directly with our own Grenadian medical staff to improve the standards of their service and delivery. And in fact, we're signing today an agreement for the next 15 years of collaboration. But in fact, Mount Sinai has been working with us here in Grenada for several years, actually on a volunteer basis in the mental health and wellness sector. But we've actually had Mount Sinai engage at the General Hospital for the last several months, assessing the state of affairs at the General Hospital and working very closely with the management team to put together a plan to start improving the quality services at the General Hospital and improving the skills of the staff at the General Hospital. This work has already begun and has already seen significant advancement. The General Hospital staff have been amazing in their collaboration with the Mount Sinai team so far, and we're really looking forward to the next year ahead with the continuing improvements that happen at the existing General Hospital, while we are also going to be working with the Mount Sinai team planning for the future of the new hospital. So stay tuned, a lot more wonderful, exciting news will be coming your way.
I want to start off first of all with a matter which was very vexing for a lot of Grenadians. And the issue regarding the boat Mary G that unfortunately lost engine mobility and found its way out in Margarita, Venezuela. Tell us what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had to do in order to get this boat and the citizens of Grenada who were on the boat back home safe and sound.
Well, as soon as we found out about the situation of that boat, which was a couple of days, in fact, after the saga began, we immediately got in touch with the Venezuelan authorities, with Ambassador Jorge Guerrero, who is based here, with the Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs of Venezuela, and ultimately the Foreign Minister himself. So as you correctly said, the boat developed some engine problems, drifted into Venezuelan waters, was escorted into the port of Pampatar in Margarita. There were some attempts by the authorities there to impose some charges. I don't know whether you could call them fines, fees, charges, whatever it was, totaling 1 year converted to probably close to 200,000 EC dollars.
Wow. But
eventually, through the intervention of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here in Grenada, we were able to work out that the boat was eventually released without having to pay any fees or charges. And they were allowed to leave eventually. And I think they got home sometime in the very early hours of yesterday morning. I've been in touch with the captain of the boat from the time I found out about the incident. And they're very happy. They're just happy to be back home, and as are the rest of us in Grenada.
Well, fantastic indeed. Well, congratulations to you, Minister, and to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for intervening in what was then a very vexing matter.
We managed this year to get soca artist Vaughn recognized as a global intellectual property ambassador.
Right.
So he's a WIPO youth ambassador. Now, this is a big deal. This honor, they started it in this program in 2000, where every few years they would name a World Youth Ambassador for Intellectual Property.
Okay.
Vaughn is the first person from the Western Hemisphere to be named a Youth Ambassador. And how did WIPO get to know Vaughn? Because we introduced him as one of the persons that we were going to have perform during our exhibition, the same exhibition I was just telling you about.
Right.
We were supposed to have it since last year to mark our 50th anniversary.
Right.
But Beryl struck just before, so we didn't go again. So he was on the program to perform because we're going to be promoting some of our local artists as well. And they were so impressed with him, they assisted us to have him go through the process of being accredited as a World Youth IP Ambassador. And he's one of the first musicians. Normally they do inventors and that kind of thing, but he's one of the first musicians and the first in the West. Not even the great US ever had a person
major.
named.
We take these things for granted, but
Yes,
this is a major accomplishment.
Major. Yeah, so Vaughn will be receiving his ambassadorial credentials during the assemblies. So he's going to be meeting the Director General of WIPO. And of course, we're going to be having a live performance.
Can you feel the wind that blows from the seas to the Caribbean?
This evening is a happy occasion and a moment to reflect on Grenada's wider journey and how, over the past 5 decades, it has become known for its music, its sporting excellence, and support for global causes like biodiversity. We have just appointed Vaughn, one of Soca's rising stars, as our newest IP Youth Ambassador and the first ever from the Caribbean region. We're pleased to have Vaughn with us today, and we'd like to all give him a round of applause and call him Ambassador Vaughn. So on this milestone occasion, we at WIPO also reaffirm our hope of finding more exciting and impactful ways of working together in support of Grenada's rich heritage, bright future, and of course, your music, your arts, your culture, your song, your dance, your food, your cuisine, and your innovators and creators. Thank you very much.
But Grenadians, we are a resilient people. And with WIPO's support, we are here this year to showcase Grenada's intellectual property assets and achievements with a focus on Grenada's origin-linked products, such as nutmeg, cocoa, and rum, and also to promote Grenada's rich culture, cuisine, and creativity. Director General, Grenada is especially thankful to you and your team at the WIPO Academy for facilitating KIPO's request for Vaughn to be appointed as WIPO IP Youth Ambassador. What began as a long shot has now turned into a wonderful reality for our entire country. Vaughn's presentation this evening is intended to give you an immersive experience of Grenada's culture, featuring soca music, which is a Caribbean genre.
Thank you so much. I will definitely make the best use of this appointment as I can to represent myself, my country, my family, and everything WIPO stands for. Thank you so much once again. This is an honor for me. Thank you.
You have chosen unity over disunity. You have chosen resilience, flexibility, inclusiveness, and strength over infighting, weakness, vacillation, or wish-washiness. You have chosen boldness and courage over timidity and the same old, same old. You have chosen positive change and transformation. You have sent a clear and resounding message to the tri-island state of Petit Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada that the National Democratic Congress is once more on the path of inspiring hope and belief in our people and in our nation. That the National Democratic Congress is once more on the path of beginning the process of creating a sustainable and brighter future for our young, vibrant, creative, and innovative population. You have recognized and honored and rewarded the tremendous contributions made by all of the NDC stalwarts. And for this superb choice, I say thank you.
As we celebrate this third anniversary of the party in government, is there a special message you wish to share with the leadership of the party, and two, its membership and potential members of the party?
Sure, well, I will certainly speak to potential members. I think we are an open party. We are welcoming all and all to not just be supporters, but to take up formal membership within the party and to become workers on behalf of the party. Right. When you do so, you are serving Grenada. You are also getting an opportunity to understand governance, to understand international relations, to understand public policy making, and to make public policy, crucially. Not just to understand it, but to get the opportunity to give your input that could shape the policies that the country will embark upon, not in the future, no, because we're in office, and by virtue of that, we have the advantage of being able to influence what happens in the country. To the existing members and supporters and the leadership of the party, obviously, I think the starting point, as we reflect on our third year anniversary, is to thank them for placing their confidence in me personally to become the political leader, and when the elections were held, to elect me as MP for St. David's and as political leader of the party, by virtue of that, the Prime Minister of the country. I take this role very seriously. I don't take myself too seriously, however. And it is important for us to remember that we're here to serve, that we are servants of the people, and that the sovereign power of the state lies in the citizens of the country. And so it's incumbent upon us to remain humble, to remain hungry for continued growth, development, and improvement of Grenada, and by extension, the improvement of the National Democratic Congress. And I really want to say to the citizens of Grenada, I know sometimes people shy away from politics because of what has happened in the past, but the country belongs to us. It doesn't just belong to the politicians. And we need to make sure that we are involved, not sit on the sidelines, but that we get involved in the political organizations, that we help strengthen them, we help build them, so that parliamentary democracy remains alive, remains vibrant, and can continue to be an asset to the country. So we look forward to the National Democratic Congress continuing to grow from strength to strength. I think we've demonstrated that we can be knocked down a couple of times, but we spring right back up. So it's clear we are a very resilient party. I think we demonstrate that we are a party that encompasses all, from the stalwarts, the foundation members, the former Prime Minister, like our great mentor and supporter, Uncle Tilly, to people like former Minister of Finance, the Honorable Nazim Book, to people like Sylvester Wallace, who are still playing significant roles in supporting the agenda of the current administration, to the very young members of Parliament and Cabinet Ministers we have in persons such as MP Ron Reddit, who's our current PRO, Sister Karine James, who is our Minister for Climate, the Environment, Renewable Energy, and the MP for St. John, Brother Tevin, who's perhaps the most patriotic kayak I know, by a significant distance. His love and patriotism for his people is unmatched.
Fiercely so indeed.
Fiercely so. So I think the party demonstrates the indefatigable, energetic Andy Williams, the cool, calm, and collected Brother Dennis Conwell in the north, and Brother Andal, who's a great storyteller, a man of significant humor. So when as said by my namesake, when you look at the team, both in terms of leadership and in terms of what has, I think, happened over the last 3 years, there's no doubt, as he rightly recognized, that this was the best team, and for once, I think him and the people of Grenada were on the same page.
Yes.
And they elected the best team, and so we really want to thank them for, putting their confidence in us over the last 3 years.
When we speak about tourism, it's important to know that tourism is not mutually exclusive from Grenadian way of life. Grenadian way of life is what our tourism product is.
Exactly.
Right? Because that's what they come to see. They come to see how do we live here. We speak about the friendliness of the people, the beautiful, the scenery, the food, and what we do, show them our customs. We're so proud to show them our country. And that is what tourism is. So tourism, if you take agriculture out, tourism falls flat.
Oh, yeah.
If you take food out, tourism falls flat, right? You can, if you take Grenadians out, there's no Grenada to sell.
Forget it.
That's the point. So it's always about really, we have to holistically embrace this. And that goes back again to the connection of why we treat each other well, in addition to the visitors. Because what we said in Grenada, and what's unique about Grenada, is our way of life.
Exactly.
The island is the resort. You go to most places, they go behind a wall into the resort and you stay inside there, and then you just leave to go back to the airport. But in Grenada, that's not the case. Grenada is out, you come out into the communities.
That's it.
So community tourism is a key focus of this administration. Our minister is very supportive of that, ensuring, because he's a minister of culture as well, and ensuring that community tourism benefits and people really benefit from it. So it's really just a time for everybody to just continue to do their best, continue to provide the best services, friendliest faces, and by doing that, you create just sort of more economic activity and prosperity for all of us.
When you elect representatives, you have to ensure that they are aware that if you do not fix key infrastructure, road networks, and road access, these are the results of what neglect can look like. It can cause us to be very close, 10 minutes, 5 minutes away from each other, but it can take us hours to get to point A to point B because of failed ideas, because of failed networks or failed plans to actually supporting and ensuring that we build the necessary infrastructure that is needed for the overall development and enhancement of the areas. And so it's unfortunate now that we are at this juncture, but we are dealing with it, and we are hoping to have a successful implementation and rollout of that new road project for the people of Clogier. They deserve better, and they are getting better underneath my representation.
Well, great. Wonderful indeed.
It's always a pleasure to engage with our supporters who have been giving us tremendous support over the past 3 years. It has not been an easy task or easy feat for us, but we have given our commitment and we have stayed the course. And if any of us report Kazi's poll, you would see that we have stayed the course and we are doing what we said that we were going to do. So I just urge our supporters, whether it be here or in the diaspora, I urge them to just be with us, keep us in your prayers. We need it. We are seeing some scary things happening. So much misinformation is being spread. So much of malice and lies. Just to score political point. We're not going to get ourselves tied up in that. Certainly, I'm not going to get myself tied up in that. I am staying focused to what I said I was going to do. I am staying focused to the brand. I'm staying focused to good governance, accountability, and transparency. And so I want you to hold us in high regards. I want you to continue to support us and to just be there for us, keep praying for us. If we fall short somewhere, you think we can do better, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and say, Karen or anybody else, I think that you need to do something different, or I think that you need to do something else. I didn't like how that was come across. I think you can do X, Y, and Z different. We are here to learn. We are here to grow together, and we're here to make Grenada a better place.
This is indeed a mammoth undertaking.
Yes.
And hundreds of foreign dignitaries, heads of state, etc., converging onto Grenada.
Yes.
The records show 1,500 delegates are flying into Grenada.
Yes.
Several of them on charter flights.
Yes.
And there's over, I think, close to 400 local delegates registered.
Yes.
Has the RGPF ever undertaken such a mammoth exercise in securing the welfare of dignitaries and others in Grenada? Tell us about that.
Yes. I'm an officer of 40 years career. And I've never witnessed an exercise of that magnitude with the RGPF. We've had heads of states like presidents from the United States and other countries, but never, and we've had CARICOM heads, but never an event of that magnitude. And I did highlight it during our security briefings, that this is the mother of all events that we have undertaken as an organization and as a country. But I want to record to say that we are equal to the task. We have
robust planning, and we already rolled out a security posture, and we have everything in motion as we speak.
The protocol arrangements for this conference has been massive. A number of persons have been engaged just to provide such services. And I have asked Norris Lafrancais to give us an update. He is one of the individuals who have been engaged with the Foreign Affairs Department. So tell us, what has been the experience like?
We have over 100 ushers here, young people who have never been a part of anything like that, and they are engaged. They are meeting a lot of people. They are working. They are enjoying themselves, and it's really fun to see that a high level event like that young people in Grenada can be a part of. It's a step in the right direction, Terry.
Here in Grenada, we are co-financing a world-class tertiary hospital, estimated at the cost of about $250 million. Which we hope will convert the country into a regional hub for medical tourism. Also in Grenada, we are also financing investments by Orascom Group in the luxury tourism, directly boosting Africa-Caribbean investments while supporting improvements in tourism infrastructure in the country.
It is with deep honor that I say Aqaba to Grenada. We are known as the Isle of Spice, where everything is nice. We are known as Pure Grenada, where you can recharge, reboot, and renew. And we are proud to host Active 2025. We are proud to host Active 4. We are in the Caribbean, where the Atlantic meets the Caribbean Sea, where our people greet each other with warmth, with resilience. And so we open our hearts and our minds to all our guests who are with us today.
I don't want no flowers, I don't want money. As long as you love me, it's good for me. So I come to make history. Watch now! They say a woman cannot win this race, but listen me, I come to tell them that they out of place, so they better control themselves. Tonight, when I win the crown, National Stadium, hey! And when I could be the only one jumping up in the
Put your hands in the air, Ruby! 1, 2! Jump, jump, play a man of us. Greens people win, nobody else. When we play, my people let me. Ask whoever, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't be greens. We don't joke around with each other, don't be. And be fair to know we must show back, don't be greens. All you give me a word. Bury on, bury on, bury on. Everything's made in the air. Head hot up, meet up, hot up, meet up. Mother, what? Everything up. Over your head, no. Over your head. Over your head, no. So can't go down. What can do make the city burn down? I will not stop the blessing the fire till it burn down. When passing they can bring me the light and they run cold. Seems like none of them hearing. If I see two over there, I know all them know what I say. And we don't care who win, we will manage a blessing it up. 1,000 degrees. The fillet of the blade rock the fire for the sit up. 1,000 degrees. Walk to the fire. Let me see every plug in this stadium. I have a backpack another day. Running the backpack another day. In this time, where's your record? They go out to put the jazz on a play. I dress like today, oh. You put the jazz on a play, oh. Man, I dress like all alone live in the rain. I feel like a dashing leaf. I feel like a all alone live in the rain. I feel like a dashing leaf. Oh, when you give me the grease.
Carnival Spice Mass activities. What an event it was. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you for having us again.
Great, fantastic. Let us start off with the man who made it happen. Tell us, I mean, this has been just a phenomenal Spice Mass this 2025. What has caused it? And my goodness, it seemed to have gone flawless. Not even the police reported any incidents whatsoever of misbehavior. This is a AAA plus for Grenada. Tell us about it.
Thank you very much. And first of all, a very good afternoon to your viewers and listening audience globally, locally. And yes, as you said, it was a lot of effort into it. And I must say part of the experience or the success of the Spice Mass experience, I mean, there are a number of them. I can talk of the support in terms of sponsors. I could talk of the support in terms of government and any contribution. But of course, for most part, I think the whole question of marketing Spice Mass and the brand was extremely key. You know, we have listened to our audience, we have listened to our people over the years and coming out of the symposium of last year as well. And we took and made, some of the initiatives to ensure that it's properly promoted, the brand is well made known throughout. And of course, the question of the staff, the board, and all our stakeholders playing their part has been tremendous. So, I just want to thank everyone as early as now for the support, for the contributions being made in the different areas to ensure that we had a really successful Spice Mass 2025.
Congratulations to you and the entire government and its team and so forth. And we have the chairman of the GTA. I understand not even one hotel room was available.
Everything sold out.
Oh, wow.
Flights sold out.
Woo.
And I think that, you can tell from the numbers, just being an observer, that the numbers have definitely increased year over year. Last year, in 2024, we actually jumped 30%. That's a massive number.
Wow, that is huge.
And this year, we're in the ballpark between 5 to 8%. We're still tabulating the numbers to try to understand, make sure that we have them correct, reported accurately. But that is sort of the increase. That may sound small, but that is quite significant. Because any time a business is growing or an economy growing 5 to 8% a year is tremendous, right? And we also have to be cognizant that with all the rooms continuously being sold out, there isn't that much more accommodation available. So you start looking at so we're looking at at the fact that we have sort of maximized everyone that can come in at this point into the destination, because we continue to promote, we continue to do what we have to do, we continue to develop a wonderful Spice Mass product, led by Spice Mass Corp. And we do have the support for that product and development. And with us lending the support that we need with Spice Mass and promoting this event internationally and ensuring that we have the right airlift, we have the capacity right now, but we're sort of maxed out, which is a good problem to have.
Well, indeed. I was really taken aback. I went to an event that is being put on by international promoters and so forth. And guy was saying, crop over in Barbados is nothing compared to what Grenada is offering, and Trinidad is shaking in their boots.
Fellow Grenadians, visitors, friends of culture, and lovers of the Mass, what a spectacular season it has been when stars align. Spice Mass 2025 has exceeded every expectation, delivering on our proud promise, the best Mass by far. Today, I stand here overflowing with gratitude and pride. First, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to all our champions whose talent, creativity, and dedication lit up our stages and streets. To Muddy, our unstoppable soca monarch, you shook the very ground we stood on. To Golden, our soulful and irresistible groovy monarch, you captured our hearts. To Scholar, our legendary calypso monarch, you reminded us of the power of words and melody. To Miss St. John, Alia Knight, our radiant carnival queen, you earned that crown with grace and poise. To the winners of the road match, Little Kerry, the captivated mass bands, traditional mass, jab jab, old mass, Monday night mass, and fancy mass, Comanchero Steel Orchestra, and all other victors across the competitions, your artistry has inspired a nation and delighted the world. To all those who entered the various competitions, commendations on your outstanding performances. But Spice Mass is not built on talent alone. It strives because of people. Therefore, I extend sincere thanks to our stakeholders, the Spice Mass Corporation, subcommittees, sponsors, music producers, cultural groups, law enforcement, cleaners, private promoters, and all those who work tirelessly behind the scenes. To our patrons, your energy fueled every performance. To our visitors, you came, you danced, you celebrated with us, and you will forever be part of our story. And to our media partners, thank you for carrying our culture to every corner of the globe. Spice Mass 2025 was not just a festival, it was a living, breathing celebration of our identity. We showed the world that Grenada's culture is not only alive, but soaring to new heights. Let us continue to grow, innovate, and preserve what makes our carnival truly ours. Until we meet again for Spice Mass 2026, may the rhythm never leave your heart, and may we always remain the best mass by far. Thank you, and may God bless Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Well, the program today is going to extend beyond the 1 hour period, simply because there's been just so much content that we did not want to leave out anyone in those many programs which we held. Imagine 4 programs a month by 12 months. So that was 48 programs in 2025. So for those of you listening on radio, we ask you please to join us on the NDC Facebook platform or on YouTube. So thank you for being part of the program. Please join us online. We'll be continuing. The program today might be just under 2 hours. So join us online for those listening on radio. Thank you.
I am happy to report St. Andrew Southeast, from an NDC perspective, is going quite well. In fact, probably 4 out of every 5 constituents will tell us how satisfied they are with the government's performance, with things that are happening. In fact, I was in a bar over the weekend, and one lady said to me, listen, I was close to the other side, but I tell you, if people vote this government out, they're wicked and I'm leaving the country. That's what the lady said to me, and she's known to be close, to have been close to the other side. But that's how much people are seeing stuff. She says, listen, things that they said couldn't happen for all these years.
Exactly.
In 3 years, we're seeing so many of those things happening, and the country is running well. She said, who not working are people who don't want work.
Yep.
Those were her words.
Yep.
And she said she's very satisfied, and if the disappointment were to come that people knock their head and vote this administration out, she's leaving the country. These are the kind of sentiments I get that encourages me, you see. And if I had not been on the ground, like our team is being, you probably might get fooled by what you hear some person saying green. You might hear them saying something and you might just believe. But if you're on the ground yourself, you will know that the average person on the ground is quite satisfied. And so I'm hearing that. But not only that, there are some strategic things happening in St. Andrew, Southeast. We can talk about the lighting of Progress Park. The people for years have called for that. And finally, in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports, under the leadership of Honorable Delma Thomas, we are having the Progress Park lit. The lights are up. And Progress Park is a major sporting ground And it's a ground of international standard that we can play cricket at for cricketing. And so that's a huge thing happening. But let's keep with the lighting, because right next door, the constituents of Telescope St. Andrew, they've been always clamoring for the lighting of that community pasture close to SAS. That too has been lit.
Wow.
And we are just waiting on the installation of a transformer, I think it's through the Ministry of Works, to have the correct voltage brought to the area for the facility. I mean, we were planning to have it opened quite recently, but we couldn't get that done in time, so we had to reschedule that. But that is happening, and that's a big thing. I'm staying with Telescope, and the Telescope Primary School Road, if anybody remembers the Telescope area, you would remember for years the road was broken in that middle road just in front of the Telescope Primary School. We have been able to complete that road. Now, it's probably in the final few days, probably another week so of queuing that has to take place in the last bit of the road that was completed. But the entire bit of the road is repaved, resurfaced, and constituents are happy with what's been happening. I can go and talk about the number of homes and houses that's been, the wash is also taking place in Telescope. There are over 15 bathrooms being done to standard, as the Prime Minister did in his pilot, in the area of Telescope, in the small Bay Area, and in the big Bay Area. We've passed and visited a few, and the people are happy. One lady said to us, you know, for all these years I've followed the lady, and look who has to come and give me a bathroom and toilet.
Wow.
With tears in her eyes.
Wow. Amazing.
I mean, when I experience those things, it makes
you
me
cold
realize,
bumps?
yes, it makes me realize how much people appreciate what we are doing as an administration.
Yes.
Incidentally, I was walking through Grenville yesterday, and I heard the loudspeaker passing, talking about how ill-speaking the government, that things are terrible and things are bad and we don't know how to manage the country, and I'm listening and I'm saying, what craziness is this? But I was happy that I was there, because apart from knowing that the things that were said were blatantly deceptive and they were erroneous and they were lies.
Yep.
Talking about government ministers raising their salaries and nobody else getting any benefit. I mean, and I can talk about these things because there's been no such thing, because they didn't tell us that they agreed to MPs and parliamentarians, not government ministers necessarily, parliamentarians getting a benefit that never existed, that they get too.
Yep, exactly.
And they're not saying that they're getting the $10,000 that even in my case I don't get.
But in addition to getting the 10, they also getting 5.
Yes, they get a salary, which never existed, and they don't talk about that. And I probably think that is what they're trying to suggest, is an increase in government minister's salary. Because if you go back to the estimates of revenue and expenditure, the permanent secretary still receives a higher salary than the minister.
Yep.
In all ministries. As far as I know.
Yep.
In my ministry.
That's
right?
what it is.
So to deceive the people like that, I just think it's flagrantly disgraceful.
Well,
to have these messages being broadcast around the place in the name of a political institution that wants to rescue. And you know, interestingly, when I heard all these things and I was walking through, the people in the town said, what, minister? Don't bother with them there, you know. It was the way the people responded.
Right. That made a difference.
Yeah. The people were like, leave them alone. They have to travel. They have to meet the people. They have to know they're bringing back benefits. The people were defending. The people were saying, rescue us from what? We rescued already. I listened to the people, and you know, it was just heartwarming.
Yes.
That the people are now in a place where they cannot be easily fooled.
Right.
Because
exactly.
they are experiencing a different kind of leadership. They are seeing a kind of impact that they're not prepared to be easily fooled. They live for all these years, 20-something years plus, looking, hoping, believing a certain set of things. And in 3 years, all of these things were tossed away and you could realize, oh, but they said that couldn't, oh, but they said this wouldn't, oh, but they said the country would mash up, oh.
Yep.
So they now just got an aha moment that they realize, what's wrong with these people? Rescue us from what? So I left there feeling happy that I was in Grenville at the time.
Yes.
To hear it and to witness the response of people. Furthermore, I even saw on Facebook, somebody recorded them And the amount of voices that were joining in and saying, we rescued already. We rescued already. Why don't move there with that? Those weren't my words.
Yes.
Those were people's words.
Let me say it is really a great honor and pleasure to be at this 3rd anniversary of the works and commitment of the Bain Sisters. Then the Office of Diaspora Affairs launched the need for Grenadians residing abroad to adopt a school. We did not realize that the response would have been so overwhelming. And when the Bain Sisters approached me 3 years ago, I welcomed the opportunity for them to do just that. Let us give them a great round of applause.
I think they have set the tone. While it's very good for Windsor Forest, I urge, and that's why I call on the ambassador, not to keep it by ourselves, but to also share our experience, share what is happening in Windsor Forest, in Deer, in Laraland. And I want to see sooner or later, we should be hearing something about Vincent's and Shanflow and Child Island and Dudman, all those areas. They must be commended for that initiative. Kudos to the Bain family, and I look forward to greater things to come. Thank you very much.
I just wish to update one and all, including delegates, supporters, members of the National Democratic Congress, that we have commenced the clearing of the land for the headquarters of the National Democratic Congress. Honorable Prime Minister and political leader Deacon Mitchell, he is keen to ensure that we do achieve this, and we are working steadfast to it. The entire team is behind this. The General Secretary, everyone is looking forward to the day when we can call the headquarters or home of the National Democratic Congress and turn it into something much more than just a headquarters, but also a resource center. We are pleased with the commencement of the clearance of the property. It's looking lovely. And we are confident that once this is completed, it is another milestone being achieved by the National Democratic Congress, again, in such a short space of time. We must give credit to the Honorable Prime Minister and his hard work and the team's dedication to achieving this, and so we thought it fitting to mention this on the very onset and to update the nation as to the progress that we are making. We also have, very briefly, another update to give, and hopefully in the coming weeks and months ahead, the public will be pleased as we put out information concerning candidacy, caretakership, that sort of thing, throughout the length and breadth of the nation. Terry, we need to talk about the politics in the country, because there is the perception by some, whether real or imagined, that, things are happening and it's the worst it has ever been, etc. And we want to say no. That is not the case. And I want to start off by highlighting the very obvious with all of these innuendos, half-truths, all these sorts of things that are floating about there. It is clear in my mind, as Public Relations Officer, that the National Democratic Congress administration is performing, and in some instances is outperforming its mandate when we got into office. We are not where we would like to be in every instance, and as you could well appreciate, Terry, there are limitations, maybe even due to time, human capacity, among other things, as to why we have not been able to achieve some of the things that we have set out to. But by and large, we are on the right track, and we are confident that Grenada is going in the right direction as we speak.
Oftentimes it's said that politicians see things when they want to get into office. And when they get into office, it's a different story. I'm happy to be part of a team that has kept most of its promise 3 years and counting, in spite of the difficulties we have faced along the way. And in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, we can talk about the investments that we have made in particular to agriculture. Because we did say that we are going to work hand in hand with our farmers and the local committee and organizations in Carriacou to improve agriculture. And so far, for the last 3 years, we have made significant investments, surpassing over $2 million. And as most of you might be aware, we've just recently opened a state-of-the-art fishing center, which was promised by the NDC. And I'm happy to see that we have delivered on that promise, making general improvements to the sector by purchasing of equipment and among a number of other things. So those are some of the investments that has been taking place in agriculture to help strengthen food security and help strengthen the industry on the island. And the intention is to modernize our agriculture practices on the island of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. We can talk as well about the investment in tourism. We did say that we're going to try our best to improve and enhance our tourism product. One of those promises have been kept in the launching of our first underwater sculpture park in the Grenadines. So it's not the first underwater sculpture park in Grenada, but it's the first underwater sculpture park in the Grenadines, and I'm extremely happy and proud about that. As a matter of fact, a number of visitors come to Carriacou just to dive the underwater sculpture park. And a number of people from the Grenadines, a lot of the tourists from the Grenadines also visit to do just that. Another significant project, a number of people may not understand the significance of it, but to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, we do. And that is the launch, or the establishment rather, of our driver's license unit. Now, the drivers in Carriacou had to wait sometime up to 6 months before getting their laminated driver's license be sent back to Carriacou. And it created some problems for us, because oftentimes the receipt that we normally, of course, pay in the treasury, and we get a receipt and so on. And that's what we had to use to let the police and others know that we've paid for our license and it's on the way. And oftentimes the receipt the ink feeds off, and we have to go in a lot of explaining mode for the police and the authorities. Long story short, we have launched this unit, and I'm happy that apart from St. George's, Carriacou is the only other parish that has its own driver's license unit. And hopefully the other parish will follow suit. But this is indeed a major step in the right direction for our drivers on the island, Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
My job is to continue or to do things that will benefit the country in an effective manner.
Right.
So we should not go and making a whole press conference to talk about this project was my project. It's not your project.
It's the nation's project.
You understand? And we use it conveniently when we are in office, right? And let me hit the nation. The opposition, in the 90s when they were in office, it's not an NDC project. It's a Grenada project. Now that we are in office, they are saying, oh, it's an NMP project. It's not an NMP project. It's a Grenada project.
Well, I hope they will also claim those that never started.
You understand? Now, let's talk about the UK SIFT project. That's happening right now. That was on the book, and I will always talk about that since 2016.
Yep.
80 million EC dollars. 70 million was for that project. 10 million was for the Western Main Road project. Zero implementation. we came in, and since 2016 to 22, 6 years, no implementation. We came in a matter of 2 years or so.
Yeah, less than 2 years.
We got it back, and now the project has been implemented to provide drinking water for everyone in the Southern District. The idea is to repave the roads after. Look how the busiest road in Grenada is from the Port Highway to Grandlands.
Yep.
Every time we keep patching the roads. There are some parts of the roads that the sidewalk is same level with the road.
True.
There are some parts of the road that have no sidewalk. A gentleman was killed about 2 years ago running down the highway.
Yep.
Because there's no difference between the road and the sidewalk, and no sidewalk. But if we can repave the road and we can put sidewalks at the same time, even put some barriers so that if you run off the road, the barriers will save you. Now, if you bump someone on the road, 2 lives are destroyed. One, you'll be going to, unfortunately, you may be going to prison if it goes against you, and a life is lost. But just by doing these things, we can preserve the life of our people and have a better Grenada, and people can feel more safe to traverse on the road and to walk, to exercise. So I'm saying, guys, that talk, we speak, and we want action to be our second name. Love and then action. That's what we are about. And we will continue to be about that. Not having 5 and 6 radio programs to diminish the character of people, but having 5 and 6 radio programs to promote the work that we are doing. Look at Progress Park. For years, Progress Park is like the #1 playing field in St. Andrew. You want to tell me that no one thought about putting lights in Progress Park?
Yep. Exactly.
3 years into office, you have lights in
important.
Progress Park. Look at our national stadium. We cannot get a night match because we have no lights in the stadium. Today, we are putting lights in the stadium.
Wow.
That is vision, that is action. It's not just talk. So you can vote someone for old talk, or you can vote someone for action. And we are about action. When we decide to call or to ring the bell, could be this year, I don't know, right? Could be next year, I don't know.
I'm listening.
Could be the following year, I don't know. But when we decide to ring the bell, we have to say to the Grenadian people, we promised this, we have done that. Maybe we didn't get a chance to do this, but give us a chance again, we will do more. Right? And our records have to speak for itself.
I guess the Prime Minister will bring out his shopping list. This is what you asked for, tick. This is what you wanted, tick. This is what you expected, tick. This is what is moving on, tick.
That's it.
So there'll be tick, 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 tick.
Right?
The NNP therefore will look seriously at the possibility of paying government public workers every 2 weeks, not every month, as it appears to be at this time.
It's already happening in some sectors. For example, in construction, for example, in the hotel sector, people are paid fortnightly or twice a month. So all we were saying is we will extend that across the nation and give all our workers the opportunity to be paid twice a month.
Pie in the sky type promises.
Now again, the reaction is, this is pie in the sky. And my response is, we intend to put the pie on the plate.
Enacting of the government's commitment, which was made by us pre the election, that on assuming office we will take steps to ensure that the salaries of public servants are paid on a bi-monthly basis. I'm indeed happy and pleased to announce that that will come into effect on the 15th of April 2023.
Whatever the government has done in agriculture, it has done it properly to make sure that most of the persons who are into the agriculture sector benefit from it. There are those who get, and they're on platform talking nonsense about, the government gave their parties as only and so on. I could tell you, but I wouldn't say it here. There are some people who know that they are talking rubbish on the radios and on their programs and so on. They didn't come and collect the check, they sent other persons to collect their check. And so we know who they are. So stop the nonsense, please.
All right. Well, I know that the Minister of Agriculture, he has a number of programs going, and hopefully farmers will take advantage of these initiatives so that we can step up on our production levels.
I mean, in agriculture right now, there are several initiatives taking places. I mean, we sell a bag of feed, a bag of manure, for example, at $1 per pound, a kilo. And people are still talking about the inputs in agriculture is too expensive. I mean, we buy it and we sell it over to you, or we got it as grants and we give it over to you free of cost, put it that way.
Yeah.
And you're still complaining. I heard a guy on radio there talking about the price of breadfruit and cabbage in the market and so on, and talking about even what we import and put in the shop, they can't buy it. Even what we grow locally and so on, they can't buy it and so on. I don't know where he's living. God forbid.
A Grand Mall resident is finally able to claim official ownership of her land, receiving her title deed after waiting more than 3 years for the important document. Elderly resident Margaret Hosford has completed payment for her property under the government's land program. But despite repeated calls and inquiries, she never received her official ownership document. It was only after field officers within the Land Tenure Regulations program visited her community that her situation was finally addressed. On Tuesday, Minister for Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, Honorable Lennox Andrew, personally handed over the deed to Ms. Hosford, congratulating her on the achievement.
As you can see, the whole ministry is here to be with you this morning to deliver to you your deed, your title deed, and the plan for this piece of land that you would have bought so many years now, and you waited long enough to receive that deed, to say that this piece of rock is now legally yours. And I know you've been waiting for this a very, very long time. And of course, with that title deed, you can use it to take good care of your health if you wish. You can use it to go to the bank, go to the credit union, and get a certain amount of money, yes, to do whatever you want to do and to improve your health, to improve your situation.
Visibly emotional, Ms. Hosford expressed heartfelt gratitude to everyone involved in helping her secure her title deed after years of uncertainty.
I'm so happy. I want to say thanks you all for helping me out with the deed. I want to also thank Ms. Emmons and Mr. James. Always bugging him, always calling him. And he was very patient with me. And I want to say thanks to all of you that are here for helping me. Thank you, brother. Mr. Minister, I thank you for coming.
The Land Tenure Regularization Program, launched in May 2024, continues to make progress in modernizing land administration and securing land rights across Grenada. On Wednesday, another 47 persons from across the island received their deeds during a handover ceremony in St. Andrew. A similar event is planned for Carriacou and Petit-Martinique before the end of October 2025.
It was a very easy decision for the government of Grenada with respect to securing the Grenadian students out of Jamaica on the heels of what is considered to be one of the most dangerous hurricanes Jamaica would ever face. On behalf of the government and people of Grenada, I want to take this opportunity to wish the people, the government and people of Jamaica all the very best. We know what it is. We went through Ivan, we went through other hurricanes. The government's main interest was securing the Grenadian students out of Jamaica. It is now 3 a.m. Saturday morning at the Point Celine Airport, and we are happy to receive the students from Jamaica and to say to their parents and to their friends that we're happy that they're now on safe grounds. So all in all, thank you again, and congratulations to all the students who are here safely. I know their heart is still in Jamaica with their friends and, well, new acquaintances which they have made, their school, etc. The intention is to monitor the situation closely as to what is going to be happening in Jamaica, and as soon as things, settle, then naturally the students would want to return to their place of study. Let's hope that the accommodation and the university is not badly damaged in any way whatsoever, so they can return to their educational studies in a quick time. So in the meantime, they'll be, just enjoying homeland and praying for their friends and new associates in Jamaica. Well, just to say that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, under the leadership of the Minister, who is the Honorable Joseph Andel, Permanent Secretary Roxy McLeish Hutchinson, and of course the government of Grenada. As I said earlier on, it was not a very difficult decision to get the Grenadian students out of Jamaica, out of harm's way, realizing that Hurricane Melissa was coded to be one of the most dangerous hurricanes Jamaica would ever face in its lifetime. And we pray at this time that all will be safe in Jamaica. So, as Grenadians, we know what a terrible hurricane is like, and we want to extend our blessings to the government and people of Jamaica in this terrible time that they are about to face. It's now just after 3 a.m. In Grenada, which is about 2 a.m. in Jamaica. I'll be following up the progress of the hurricane online, and we can only hope and pray that all goes well, that there's no loss of life.
I'm very grateful that Grenada put out for us and brought us back home safely. And to some of the remaining students in Jamaica, I just want to say I hope you all stay safe, first of all. But other than that, Grenada has done a lot to bring most of us back.
I like the whole idea, and I liked how they worked on it immediately to get us out, reaching out to everybody and so on. I'm doing my BFA right now at Edna Manley College. If I had my own way, I would have stayed just as an actor to experience for the third time a hurricane, but for the first time in a country as Jamaica. But understanding so on and so forth, I said, you know what, let me go home because family, friends could tie up some stuff that I need to do. And I mean, I won't mind because my whole experience has been so wonderful already in Jamaica.
Initially, because of the uncertainty, I was like very frantic because I mean, it's a hurricane and hurricane bring devastation. So obviously I was very afraid. But after reaching out to the government of Grenada, they once again showed that their boots are on the ground, and words cannot express how thankful I am as a student to be back here. And I just want to say thank you very much. And I hope that you continue on the journey that you are on. You're doing well. And we, the students of the Jamaica Association, would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm here to collect my daughter, Leniki. She was studying in Jamaica, and she had the privilege of returning home safely, given the danger that is heading towards Jamaica this time. So it was really a pleasure to have had the courtesy of the government of Grenada making it possible for her to return home.
Just having this opportunity to have my loved one home at a crucial time. We all know what hurricane is. I am so grateful because as for a parent and any parent, it is nerve-wracking to watch your loved ones far away from you going through an experience. We know what Ivan was. We know what Ivan did. I have watched Wilma through Jamaica while she was a student, and I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity and everybody and the stakeholders who pull all the stops together to get them home.
Vice Mayor Saray Martin, Commissioners Richard Campbell, Melissa P. Dunn, and John Hudson do hereby proclaim that November 8th, 2025 is the Honorable Dixon Mitchell Day in the city of Lauderdale. And it says in the city of Lauderdale, in recognition for his visionary service to Grenada, his steadfast dedication to the upliftment of his people, and his enduring influence on the Caribbean, to the Caribbean, and also to the entire world. And I put my seal to this, sir, and we present this to you today. Thank you.
Let me ask Jonathan, what would you consider to be one of the most impactful projects that Senator Andrew has undertaken in the constituency?
Well, in the constituency, for me, maybe it's hard to at this point out one, because
you mean there's so many.
Yeah, you have so many projects, and the thing about it is that the people have been climatizing for some of the projects for such a long time.
Yeah.
So when you look at the impact they have, I mean, you could talk about the Lighting Up Progress Park, in which he was a part of together with the Ministry of Sports. I mean, the people and the cricketers and the sports enthusiasts, I think people like Mr. Maxwell, so we're glad to see the lights happen. SAS School may be glad because they sports, even last year they had to rent lights for the sports to go up later in the night. So that for one, for me, I grew up within the Grenville area. I played most of my time in SAS, and I went to SAS, and after I played most of my time in Telescope. So that project in front of the school where they did the road, again, the impact of that road on the people again will be tremendous. People, the motorists from there will be glad to appreciate, because a lot of persons use by roads to, the road passing on the bay around by SAS School because of the inconvenience of the road and the how it was. So now persons having that, I think it do good for them. And for me as a young boy growing up playing in SAS Park, when you're in the sweat, it's just never enough. So the lighting of the SAS playing field now is a tremendous step for the people in Telescope. I mean, now the boys could play even later than they used to sometimes, because in the heat of the sweat, you don't want to stop. And it encourages for more activities. People could do their walks and so on. You come down to places like Lambert Bridge and you could see the project there. So from St. Andrew Southeast point of view, he's done a lot, and I think you could see things happening. And the thing, I think, with track record of this government, and as long as Mr. Andrew here, is that you could visibly see that things are happening. And they have that track record to say, and they could account and say that they have fulfilled this project. But for me personally, I don't believe that is one of his greater achievements, even within the constituency. I think the work he has done within the Ministry of Education has really pushed forward. You could talk about the free tuition. My grandmother would have been glad if she didn't have to pay that tuition when I went in college. And already you had the burden of traveling between Grenville and St. George's. So that $810 or so that you didn't for 2 years, so that's a total of $1,620 that you didn't have to pay, would have been tremendous for her, because again, I grew up with my grandmother. She didn't have an income at that point, just selling snow ice, and so to help send me to school. So that would have been tremendous for her, help for her, and I think for a lot of parents so that they could benefit from that. You have the meals in schools, you have making the skills programs available for a lot of persons within the Ministry of Education. So I think once you get to that point of people development and uplifting persons, making them, empowering them so that they could become better, they could grasp opportunities that maybe could bring to them in terms of becoming entrepreneurs, and so then I think that's the right step, and I think that's where I feel, for me personally, that he has shown and really strengthened.
Yeah.
Piero, what would you be saying to voters, young people, not so young, the elderly in the constituency?
What I would be saying to them
about Senator Andrew?
Oh, you have a man of integrity, an honest, good citizen. If you look at him and you look at his life, if you hear what he says, his word adds up to his actions. So I want to tell you, don't think twice. You have a good man representing you, a good man with a good heart for the people you have seen his walk through the ministry and what is happening so far in the constituency. So don't think twice. Our government is doing a good job, and we have a remarkable person. A person one can emulate, or young men especially, can emulate. And to me, there's no other choice than to support and give your vote to him in the future in 2027.
Well, look as though you know the date. I don't know. Two excellent representatives on your team.
Certainly.
Wonderful indeed. They have great potential. They are future leaders of the constituency, so you're doing well. It is said in leadership, it's all about your effort in training the next leader.
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes you a true leader.
Correct, correct. I mean, thank you. I have utmost confidence in the people around me, and I like to see the vesting of development into young people. And these young people have potential. And that goes without saying for me. I mean, I think it's been part of my life. I want to see every opportunity I get to pour into somebody who has the potential. We do that. And
which is so similar to Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and his entire team, building others, encouraging.
Because that is what really leadership is. In fact, if you don't do that, unfortunately, I mean, I've listened to some former Prime Minister saying at one point, he can't find anybody.
Yeah.
He can't, but that's shameful.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you spend
that
much time and you didn't invest in, you didn't pour into, to develop, and you could feel comfortable to tell the nation you couldn't find anybody, that's an indictment.
Yep.
But for me, it's clearly not that. I want to make sure every day that passes, I use the opportunity to pour into, to build, so that somebody could climb into this spot next 10 years in a short order, so that we don't have to say, where is it, who is going to do this thing? That's not what this is about. Real legacy is about succession. And so we're happy to have these young people, and it shows too the attractiveness of the NDC brand in this dispensation.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because there was a period, in fact, and some organizations suffer because they could hardly attract young minds. But you are seeing it clearly. Young people are attracted to this brand of politics. You heard Jonathan.
Yep.
He said at first he thought it was all melee and bacchanal.
Mm-hmm.
But when he started to look and listen at the messaging and the modus operandi of the Prime Minister or current Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, and his team, he found maybe there was some things good in it. And he got drawn in, and he's experiencing it, and I'm very happy to be associated with that. I can say the same for Donna. And that's just some of the team. Because we have some other young people who are just as entrenched and who feel sufficiently encouraged. You just can't have all of them here today.
Yep.
But I'm very, very happy for that. And I think Donna made a very important comment which I want to endorse. A major shout out to all of the stalwarts.
Yep.
And the persons who have gone before and who have put significant work into the establishment and the upkeep of this organization.
Hi, my name is Daniela Christopher, and I'm a resident of Telescope. And I'm just here to talk about all the good work that David Andrew has been doing. We are very pleased with the work that he's doing because a lot of things was neglected for a lot of years, and now he's just opening our eyes to see what a real government could do for their people. So first of all, I want to talk about the road that's leading by the Telescope School. This road was dilapidated for a number of years, and now it is fixed. I think it's over 840 feet of road, and it's all done just for the convenience of the people of Telescope. So where I live, this piece of road was there for eons. Every time an election was coming, they would do a little piece and leave it, do a little piece and leave it. But when Mr. Andrew came in, he did the entire road. He did the slipper drain to go right down to the junction. So I'm very pleased with that. This road is located in the back of SAS School. Also, he was instrumental in bringing the WASH program to Telescope and Small Bay. So many people got bathroom and toilet, and we are very pleased with that because we know once you have bathroom and toilet, you think a little highly of yourself and you appreciate that. So we are very pleased with that. There are so many other programs that I know of. People are getting materials to build houses. People are getting materials to help them in other areas. So we are very pleased about that. Even as the Minister of Education, I am extremely pleased with all the progress that are being made. Lots of our children in Telescope who are going to TAMCC, who are going to Newlo, they have free tuition now. So I'm very pleased because my son is in Form 2 and he will benefit from a free laptop. So I'm extremely pleased with that. Overall, Mr. Andrew is doing a very good job. and I'll be very pleased to see him as the next MP of St. Andrew Southeast. Correction, he will be the next MP of St. Andrew Southeast. And how can I possibly forget that we got Progress Park light up? After all these years, we got Progress Park light up. And also, if you look behind me, Telescope is lighted as well. So thank you so much, Senator. We appreciate it so much. So things are definitely happening in St. Andrew Southeast.
We're moving forward, 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 move the country forward.
The question we have to ask ourselves is, do we want a society that we plan, that we set goals and work towards achieving them? Or do we want a society where we get up and say, whatever happens, happens? That is ultimately the test that we must pass. A society does not improve by chance. We don't become wealthy by chance.
We have the best picture and we like it. When I look at this energy, I want you to understand there is only one unstoppable movement in Grenada called the National Democratic Congress. Young, intelligent, full of vibes. The best picture and we like it. Deacon Mitchell won't tell you no lies. Oh gosh, Deacon intelligent, wow, he's so magnificent. Oh gosh, the people he represent, yes, and he will not relent. Oh gosh, the country about heart, not an opinion, that is a fact. With Deacon, the future real bright. Stick it right by the heart. We have the best picture and we like it. Young, intelligent, full of vibes. The best picture and we like it. Deacon Mitchell won't tell you no lie. We have the best picture and we like it. Young, intelligent, full of vibes. The best picture and we like it.
It was very exciting in Parliament, and I listened to your presentation and I said, wow.
So, to me, the most important and telling presentations in Parliament the other day came from the leader of government business, from the Minister of the Blue Economy, which includes fisheries, and Minister Karine James, Minister of the Environment, and parliamentary representative for what she likes to call the fishing capital, one of the fishing capitals of Grenada.
Yes, indeed.
And it was unfortunate that really a sideshow was put on, you know, with some political gimmickry to try to detract from a very important piece of legislation that was taken to the Parliament. We know the potential or the impending ban of the export of Grenada's fish to the U.S. market. And so we had to move swiftly to start to address that problem. And the first thing we needed to do was to amend the Fisheries Act, which fortunately Parliament did approve without any opposition. Right, I think everyone was unanimous on that. So to me, that was the highlight of the sitting. But then there came a sideshow. And, you know, it was rather disappointing to see the senior-most member of the Parliament go out there and either deliberately or through ignorance mislead the nation on the issuing of those vehicles. First of all, the vehicles are there for use by the official parliamentary office of the 15 constituencies. And this government must be commended for the first time in the history of Grenada, giving members of parliament, whether you represent the government side or the opposition side, some of the tools necessary to give effective representation to your constituents. Prior to 2024, Terry, when I went to my office on Thursday and people came with their issues, with their problems, looking for little solutions, the most I could do was refer them to another ministry, another agency or just make sympathetic noises. We now have the means to engage in small but impactful interventions through the $10,000 constituency fund. And all 15 MPs have access to that. It is not our personal money. No one ever tried to say that it was our personal money. It is there for the use of our constituents.
And that fund has to be reported to the Parliament.
Yes, there are clear guidelines as to what it can and cannot be used for, how often anyone, because it's not supposed to be a standing thing where every day Terry come in and tell me he has done. No, we help you once, we help you twice, and then you have to find some other means, or we have to find some other way to help you, right? So it's not a standing thing that everybody could just, right? Cool. For the first time, parliamentarians, both in the Senate as well as in the lower house, have a reasonable salary. Did you know that prior to 2024, if you were on the government side as an elected MP and you had a ministerial portfolio, you were not paid to represent the people, which is the primary job that you got. And if you were an opposition MP, obviously you could not be a minister. I think it was a stipend, which is today now the minimum wage, $1,200 or something like that. And you were expected to make magic.
Yep.
Senators, I think, was even less, about $800 or something like that. So some steps were taken to remedy that. But it was recognized too that a lot of the work that you have to do involves moving, physically moving, picking up stuff.
Right.
Good? So the House Committee, which is the one that would decide on that, which is headed by the Speaker, and has equal representation from government and opposition. And the lamentable thing about it is that the leader of the opposition is in that committee, as well as one of the longest serving members of the House, a member from St. Mark. They're both on that committee. We sat when the idea was first brought forward on more than one occasion, discussed. They made their input. In fact, one of them, even at one of the meetings, suggested that maybe we should not look only at pickups, but for some people or for some constituencies, a SUV might be more adequate, more appropriate, and so on. All of those things were discussed. All of the discussions were held in the most collegial, even friendly manner. There was nothing adversarial about it. I don't know what happened on the other side. I know that Honorable Tevin Andrews and I reported to our colleagues at the end of every meeting. We got their feedback and their suggestions, and we took it back to the committee.
All right.
We got suggestions from the people on the other side too. So when the former leader of the opposition rose to talk about gift and personal vehicle and so on, I said to myself, hold on. These people, they are not singing from the same hymn book. Either they are not reporting to their colleagues and saying, this is the case, or maybe some of us, nature has started to take its toll on us and has started to erode our cognitive and mental faculties. Yeah, that. So it's really a storm in a teacup, and I believe that it is motivated by a need to distract and to create mischief and to give people false impressions and false information.
Right.
So I say categorically, and you notice when I said it in the Parliament, one of them got up and tried to rebut, but could not deny what I had said.
Right.
Because she knew that what I said is quite factual.
Would you characterize yourself as a no-nonsense person and let's get the job done and vex for a few minutes and then you re-engage again as friends?
Well, Terry, my chairman and the PRO will tell you that, people see me as a no-nonsense person. Sometimes I'm driving my glasses down and someone will say, Tessa, smile now, laugh now. I'm not knowing that if they get to me, they might have to ask me to shut up. or they might have to say, girl, you're easy, you know. So the people who really know me know the kind of person I am. And that is why I like to say, get to know Tessa. Don't listen. You see Elwin is smiling. Don't let somebody tell you about Tessa. Get to know Tessa. Yes, when it comes to constituency matters, Terry, we have to get the job done. We have to do the job at at certain quality, because it does not just speak to the caretaker, but it also speaks to the party that is in governance, right? We don't just represent ourselves, so we can do, to use Minister Thomas's word, Vike kind of activities, but we have to showcase proper leadership and engage in a meaningful way that would, have that kind of impact on our constituents. So yes, I'm very serious about the work of the party, about the work that is being done in the constituency. But if you get to know Tessa, you would know that Tessa is a lot of fun to be around. I can be a clown at times. I like to dance. I think, Terry, you already know that. I love music. And I absolutely positively love Christmas. So if you look at the back of me, you see my Christmas tree is up. Well, it never came down from last year. So this is my Christmas tree being up for the entire year.
Well, that's great. That's great. Thank you for joining the Heartbeat today, and look forward and seeing you again and hearing from you next Sunday when we have other equally interesting programs to share with you. This is just a continuation of the transformative agenda set by the political leader and Prime Minister of Grenada, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and his team, as we all work together towards transforming this beautiful island. May 2026 continue to be one of upliftment, joy, progress, and great health for all Grenadians. See you again next Sunday. Have a great Sunday afternoon. Goodbye.